Hello Windyke members, this is Tyler Johnson, your resident club fitter, here today to talk to you about the new Titleist drivers, the GT series.
Music licensing reimagined.
So we have GT2 right here, GT3 in the middle, then GT4 in my other hand here. I'm going to explain to you today the differences between each of them, how they're different than the prior years and how they're similar. All right, so the new technology of this head compared to prior models. Now, Titleist has always been traditional, so while the other companies have gone to more carbon fiber, Titleist has always stuck with their titanium until this year. And they're not using carbon, they're a little different. They're using a polymer up in the top. And the purpose of that is so that there's no line and you can't see a weave, right? We want to keep the traditional look of a Titleist driver going, but also have the performance benefits. So a polymer cover or carbon, as in the other drivers, that reduces the weight of the top. And when you reduce the weight of the top, you can move discretionary weight, you know, towards the bottom and towards the sides to help your forgiveness of the driver. In addition to that, this face is variably thick. And so these are made to retain ball speed on all types of hits, right? Because we're not always gonna hit it in the center, even the pros. So the face across it is variably thick. There's thin spots, there's thick spots, trying to optimize each hit across the face. And that's the main thing different here about this driver. By using this top, they're able to use more weight, right? Helping forgiveness. Variably thick face helps forgiveness also, while retaining a lot of ball speed, which is what Titleist is known for. So the second thing about this face, not only is it variably thick, it's also rough. And you wouldn't think, you know, roughness is normally something we look for in a wedge to help it spin. This actually helps the deflection point of the club. So you wouldn't want to hit it, you know, somewhere towards the toe, maybe a little open face and have it just shoot out to the right, right? And that's what happens when we have a totally smooth face. By having some roughness, it helps the left and right dispersion on open and closed face shots start more online. Okay, so the difference between these three heads is our CG location, right? And CG stands for center of gravity. Titleist doesn't normally go for the MOI, they go more for center of gravity optimization. MOI means the resistance to twisting on off center. So these do still twist a little bit on off center hits, but the CG is more optimized for vertical face contact. So they're looking to optimize this more. In the two here, we have the center of gravity all the way back. And what that means is your sweet spot is more vertically low. So the sweet spot in the two will be slightly south of the equator of the driver, somewhere down here, right? And that's with it all the way back, as you can see in the head right here, it kind of moves that way. When we move to the three, it's more centralized, right? And that's part of what this weight plate does. We don't have the weight so far back here, it's more dead in the center. Right, and so that helps us launch it high, helps it spin it less, and it helps it be more workable compared to the two. Now, when we have the back center of gravity, it is more stable. This one will have more ball speed just because the weight is closer to the back of the face. That also makes it more twistable, so there is a bit of a trade-off there. And the extreme one is this number 4. So GT4, you can see the big weight up here right behind the face. So when you hit the GT4 solid, you're gonna have the most ball speed out of any of them. But because it's all the way forward, you have the least amount of torque stability, right? So if we hit this one off center, we can lose it left, lose it right, just due to the twisting. But if you happen to hit it right where that weight is on the face, you get the most efficient ball contact. All right, so as far as sound and feel go for this driver, Titleist is trying to go back to their roots, right? Titleist has been known for forever for a firmer feel and a higher pitched sound. And it's something that the Titleist loyalists have loved forever and ever. They got away from it a little bit last year. So TSR2 was kind of soft feeling, duller sounding. which almost makes it similar to the other companies. This year they've gone back. It is higher pitch, it is firmer feeling, it's faster feeling off the face because you don't have all this absorption of the force. So this one definitely a little bit hotter, higher pitch sounding, much like the old, if you remember the 905 Titleist drivers, it's very similar to that. The shape of this driver, and shape is something we always talk about with Titleist. They're known for the teardrop shape. Sometimes in the years past, the 2 can get a little bubbly. They have changed that, so we see the 2 here is more traditional pear shape than it has been in a couple years past. This is more the traditional Titleist shape of driver, and the other 2 are similar to that. So the 3 here, same teardrop shape, just slightly smaller. Now it is still 460cc, just like the 2, but the back of it is slightly smaller because, like we said, center of gravity is going more towards the middle of the head. The GT4 is actually smaller, so this is a 420cc head, and you can see pretty small right there, but nice and deep in the face. So there still is a lot of vertical area to hit it, although there's not quite as much side to side, which honestly, when you play this driver, you're probably not hitting it there anyway. So the price of these for a standard shaft or a non-upgrade shaft is $649.99. If we go for the Tour AD upgrade shaft, they become $849.99. All right, so this is the new GT series from Titleist. Come see me if you want to get fit for them. We'll go through, make sure we have the right head combination, shaft combination. We do this year have premium shaft options for the first time in a while. So we have the Graphite Design Tour AD series. Titleist offers them as a $200 upcharge, which is much better than usual. Normally it's $400 for those shafts. And so we can really tune in and get some ball speed, get some distance with this new lineup of drivers.
Music licensing reimagined.